We're going to discuss the UV Direct 2D workflow. Just like the 3D Surface Direct method, begin by specifying both the name of your mesh and the shell object in the panel configuration menu. If you've already run the Profile Projection tool, you'll be able to apply the reference image directly to your UV mesh when you create it. This is especially helpful when adjusting opacity or scale intensity. Once that's set, click into Grease Pencil mode and start drawing your pattern. When you've defined a shape you're happy with, convert it to a curve. From there, refine the lines. Use the Decimate tool to reduce points where possible. Reposition and rotate as needed, and focus on defining that clean boundary edge. Adjusting handle tangency and smoothing the curve over your reference art, or freehand if you're working by eye. Keep shaping until your outline feels balanced. Fewer points mean a smoother result. Toggle between auto and vector handles as you go, and try to maintain an even rhythm in your edits. Because we're creating a toe cap, this panel will be symmetrical, similar to the counter from the Surface Direct workflow. Select all vertices on the curve, move the 3D cursor to the tip of the UV mesh, and use that as your axis of symmetry. Then run Mirror Curve. Snap mode stays active by default in surface-based workflows, so the mirrored side will snap automatically within the UV mesh boundary. When adjusting vertices, try not to deviate too far from the mirrored pair. Maintain symmetry as much as possible. A cleaner, balanced curve makes for a smoother border fill later. Next, sample the curve to a polyline. The resolution depends on the shape complexity. Then check your boundary edge. Keep Fixed Vertices mode active and confirm your padding settings. Padding prevents projection issues when geometry extends beyond the UV mesh or crosses along the Z-axis. Once confirmed, run Fill Border. You'll see that nice, symmetrical topology forming in the toe cap. We'll make final tweaks after projecting it to the mesh surface. Now project the 2D mesh onto the 3D surface, and there it is. From here, the workflow is nearly identical to the Surface Direct method, a balance between quick conform, subdivision modifier, shrink wrap, and smooth adjustments until the topology looks clean and natural. Sometimes it helps to apply the shrink wrap modifier early, then restart the conform for tighter surface adherence. Alternate between shrink wrap and quick conform as you fine-tune the panel. Small, gradual adjustments produce cleaner topology than big moves. At this stage, fine-tune the vamp shape using Sculpt mode. Pull on key vertices to refine contours and ensure the panel's curvature follows your design intent. Always keep subdivision surface at the top of the modifier stack, followed by shrink wrap. Run over the surface again with smooth tools to relax tension in the geometry. If you notice distortions, apply the shrink wrap modifier, adjust and reapply as needed. This ensures your close edits conform properly to the surface. Once the mesh feels balanced and clean, leave shrink wrap alone and run quick conform one final time. You'll see the geometry settle neatly against the surface, crisp, symmetrical, and production ready. And that's your UV Direct 2D workflow.